we said there's a special mitzvah on the court, on the Bezdin, to blow the shofar on Yom Kippur, of the Yovel. And we also saw that it's not only a mitzvah on the Bezdin to blow the shofar, there's a special mitzvah on every individual. Every individual, there's a mitzvah to blow the shofar on Yom Kippur of Yovel. And there's a question, there's a discussion, is the mitzvah of the Yom Kippur of Yovel just like Rosh Hashana, that I don't actually have to blow the shofar. I can hear someone else blow the shofar, and that would cover me. Or do I actually, are we going to need to actually blow the shofar? Every individual might have to blow the shofar, just like we said, there's a discussion, and you can't put on tefillin for me. I got to put on tefillin myself. Could you blowing the shofar and me listening to the shofar be enough by Yovel, just like it's enough by Rosh Hashanah? Because each person actually has to blow the shofar. So we're on Lamed Amud Aleph. We are on 30a, 30a, 38-2. So the Gemara says, Motiv Rav Sheshet. Rav Sheshet asks the following question. Just to bring everybody up to date, right, Aaron? You got the Lamed Amud Aleph, 38-2. You're safe. If you want a Gemara, you could take the Gemara. If you want to just listen, whatever you want, it's available for you. Now, we said that on Yom Kippur of Yovel, where there's going to be the blowing of the shofar, and every person is going to blow or let's hear a shofar, Rav Huna says, but it has to be im Bezdin. It has to be with the court. And the Gemara says, what does it mean with the court? It doesn't mean in front of a court, because we say you're going to blow it throughout the country. Throughout the country of Israel, they're going to be blowing the Bechol Artzachem, the shofar. So what does it mean with the court, with the Bezdin? It means, the Gemara says, Bisman Beitin, the time that the Bezdin is in session, which is until Chatzot. Every day, the court is in session until Chatzot, until 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, depending on the time of the year. So the Rabbanan instituted this safeguard, because on Yom Kippur, you're not allowed to carry. The only time you can carry Yom Kippur is if there's an Eruv, just like on Shabbat, you can't carry. So to ensure that the people will not come to carry the shofar, they said, you blow the shofar on Yom Kippur of Yovel only when the court is in session, and the fact that the court is in session, that creates a certain reverence and awe for the community. And therefore, they're a higher level, higher alert of what they're doing, and they'll be more careful about not coming to carry on Yovel, not to come carry the shofar. So the Gemara now is going to challenge this statement of Huna, that he says that there is a requirement that you have to do it in a limited time, that you have a limited window to blow the shofar on Yovel of Yom Kippur. The limited window is up to 6 hours into the day. End of 6 hours, the day Chatzot is midday, and until the end of 6 hours in the day to blow the shofar. And the Gemara now is going to challenge Rav Huna. That's what the Gemara says. Mativ Rav Sheshet. Rav Sheshet asked the following question: Shaveh hayovel leRosh Hashana. Yovel is equal to Rosh Hashanah. In what way? Litkia. The same way you got to blow on Rosh Hashanah, meaning you got to blow a tkiya, trua, tkiya 3 times. Tkiya, trua, tkiya. Tkiya, trua, tkiya. We don't know. There's a question, what is the trua sound? So we do tkiya shvarim, tkiya shvarim 3 times, the tkiya trua, tkiya 3 times, tkiya shvarim, trua, tkiya 3 times. We're all blow. The reason why we blow those sounds is because there's a question, what is the trua sound of the Torah? The Torah says, Yom Truati Alechem. To be a day of the Targum Ukla says, the Yabava. A trua is a broken sound. But what is that broken sound? Is that broken sound supposed to be what we call a shvarim? Two. Or is that broken sound a sound? What we call a trua sound? Or is the broken sound a combo of a shvarim and a tuah. Because some people used to cry. It depends how people cry. The Sefer Chinuch writes. The Sefer Chinuch that we spoke about another mitzvah. Some people cry. Some people cry. Some people cry. A combo. So this is the crying sound. So therefore, we do all the combinations. So now, we're saying the responsibility of the Yovel is equal to Rosh Hashanah regarding the Tkiya. Regarding the Tkiya, which would mean the sounds have to be the same. And the brachot. And there'll also be the brachot, the special Musaf Amidah, that we have 9 brachot on Rosh Hashanah. We have a bracha of Malchio, Shofrot, Zechronot, 3 of those extra brachot. So besides the regular first 3 and the last 3, the normal first 3 and the last 3 of every day, plus on a regular Shabbat, Musaf, you have 7 brachot for the Amidah. But you have the middle bracha, which is called Kedushat Hayom, a bracha about the holiness of the day. But on Rosh Hashanah, there's 9 brachot in the Amidah. You have 3 brachot in the middle of the Amidah. Now, so too on Yom Kippur of Yovel, there also will be these 3 brachot, which will be a total of 9. Now, so they're equal regarding the blowing and the brachot, but Ela Shebi Yovel. By the way, Aaron, if you want to send to the group that we're on, just to remind the group, Ela Shebi Yovel Tokin Bei Bezdin Shekitzu B'Chodesh Bei Bezdin Shelo Kitzu B'Chodesh. Yovel, they would blow the shofar on Yovel, both in the Sanhedrin Hagadol, whether you're in the great Sanhedrin of 71 judges, or whether you have, which is by the Beit HaMikdash, or whether you don't have the Bezdin of 70 judges. They blow, whether they're in existence or they're not in existence, in front of that court, not in front of it. Meanwhile, you blow the shofar on Yovel, both in the court of 70 in the Sanhedrin, and both in the court that's not the Sanhedrin. Is that clear, Aaron? And every individual is obligated to blow the shofar on what? On Yovel. Uber Rosh Hashanah, if you don't have service, that's all right. Well, just get, no problem. But thank you very much. Uber Rosh Hashanah, lo yatokin ela bebezdin shekitzu b'chodesh. Rosh Hashanah, this bright that goes like the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, that says that when that says that the only place you blow the shofar on Shabbat of Rosh Hashanah is only where the Sanhedrin HaGadol is. You have to have the court of 71. The sort of court of 71 is not there. You don't blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah or Shabbat because we're afraid people are going to come to carry. You're doing it in front of the Sanhedrin. You have the Sanhedrin in front of the Sanhedrin of 71. They're going to make sure nobody's going to come carry if it's done there. They're not going to leave it up to anybody to do it anywhere else, and not even any other court. Only it's the court of 71. That's according to Rabbi Elazar. The ein kol yachid v'yachid chayiv l'koah. And every individual, when it comes to Rosh Hashanah, it says everyone. The literal language is they're not responsible to blow. But the obvious question is, what do you mean they're not responsible? Every person has a mitzvah to blow. You have a mitzvah to blow on Rosh Hashanah. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, but here we're talking about Shabbat. So the Shabbat of Rosh Hashanah, every individual does not have that responsibility. On a regular weekday of Rosh Hashanah, right? You have the responsibility. But now it's Shabbat of Rosh Hashanah. It says that now something has changed. The individuals don't have a responsibility to blow. Now, so the Gemara is going to question that. My aim, kol yachid v'yachid chayav l'tkoah. What does it mean that every individual on Rosh Hashanah of Shabbat does not have the responsibility to blow? Does that mean the individual cannot blow on Rosh Hashanah of Shabbat? If you say on Yovel, everybody could blow. You don't have to, but Rosh Hashanah, the only one who could blow, you have to be an agent of the court when Rosh Hashanah comes out on Shabbat. Are you going to tell me, is that what it means? That individuals can't blow on Rosh Hashanah, on Shabbat, because we're afraid if you're not an agent of the court, you might come to what? To carry the shofar? Then, but that's not so. When Rabbi Yitzchak Bar Yosef came from Eretz Yisrael, Aaron, we're turning the page now. We are now on 30a3. When he came back from the Holy Land, he said the following. He reported on what he saw in the Holy Land. What did he see? He saw in the Holy Land, you with me, Ralph? Is it clear? When he came back from the Holy Land, he saw that in the Holy Land there were people that might have come late to the shul, and the shul, the Chazan who blew the shofar on Rosh Hashanah of Shabbat, when he finished blowing the shofar, people were still, they missed the shofar, they came late. So the individuals blew the shofar, and they were not agents of the court. Lo shama inish kol onei mikol tchiat yechidi. You couldn't hear your ears, you couldn't hear a sound in your ears. You couldn't hear anything else because the sounds of the shofar were blowing all over that area in the shul. Or people were, when Rosh Hashanah came out on Shabbat, maybe not the shul, maybe by the court, but people were blowing. They were not agents of the court. They were just an average individual, came late, who missed the chazan, who missed the official person who was blowing the shofar for everybody, and he blew the shofar. So we see that on Rosh Hashanah, that came out of Shabbat, as an individual, you were able to blow the shofar. And you were not restricted and held back from blowing the shofar as an individual. You didn't have to be an agent of the court. So what does it mean, right, Aaron? What does it mean you're not the individual doesn't have the responsibility, or a Hashana that comes on a Shabbat to blow the shofar. We saw that they did it in Israel. So what does it mean you don't have responsibility? What does it mean that in contrast to Yovel, the individual doesn't have the responsibility? And we know that you don't have to be an agent of the court to blow. You don't have to be an agent of the court. Or Shabbat, you could be so in Israel that you weren't an agent of the court. El Alav, you know what it means? Yovel token, bein bisman bezdin, bein shlo bisman bezdin. In Yovel, the Jubilee year, the 50th year, most probably it means like this, that you could blow, the individuals have a right to blow, whether it's the morning or whether it's the afternoon, whether it's the time that the court is in session, whether the court is not in session. But Rosh Hashanah, when we say the Yechidim cannot blow, you know what it means? Excuse me, the individuals can't blow? But in Rosh Hashanah, because they're limited. They can't blow in the afternoon. They can't blow at a time that the court is not in session. Rosh Hashanah bisman bezdin in, shelo bisman bezdin lo. If the court is not in session, then they can't blow the shofar. So therefore the Gemara, and therefore that's what happened in Eretz Yisrael. When the guys came late to shul, the court was still in session. They came still before 6 hours in a day. They didn't walk into shul after Chatzot. They didn't walk into shul after 12 o'clock. They walked into shul earlier, but they missed the blowing of the shofar. They blew, but the only allowance they allowed to blow is only because it's before noon. So that seems to be the contrast between Rosh Hashanah and Yovel. Yovel, even in the afternoon, you could blow. But by Rosh Hashanah, you have to blow specifically when? In the morning. So therefore, what does it seem to indicate? But Katani Miyat, but we learn, Yovel, being Bisman Bezdin, being Shlo Bisman Bezdin. Yovel, it seems that you could blow both in the morning and both in the afternoon. And Rav Huna said that by Yovel, you are limited. You have only the morning time to blow in the Jubilee year of Yovel, when there's a mitzvah to blow the shofar. And every person we've blown the shofar, wherever they are throughout the country, they have to blow it within a limited time before Chatzot, while the court is in session, because you know the court's in session, that will have an influence on you. But if that's the case, what we see from this Braita that seems to contrast Yovel and Rosh Hashanah, which seems to indicate that Yovel has this leniency. It does not require you to blow in the morning before Chatzot. And that's the Gemara's question. And that's the question the Gemara has on Rav Huna. You, Rav Huna, said that when it comes to Yovel, you have to blow Bisman Bezdin, you have to blow specifically at the time the court is in session. And here we seem to say, good morning, that does not have to be that way. So the Gemara says, no, that's not the interpretation of the Braita. When the Braita contrasts Yovel to Rosh Hashanah and says that there's something more lenient about Rosh Hashanah, Yovel than Rosh Hashanah, where it says Yovel, the Yechidim blow. I have, look at the individuals. And Rosh Hashanah not, what does that mean? It means like this. V'chikama. B'yovel, Bizman, Bezdin, Tokin. B'yovel, during the time that the court is in session, that's when the individuals blow. But when we say they have an obligation to blow, means they have the obligation to blow whether they're in front of the court or not in front of the court. It's not because we said the Torah says b'chol artzachem. You blow throughout the country. You're not in front of the court. If you're out throughout the country, you're not in front of the court. But you have to be. But it has to be at the time that the court is in session. So if you're in Haifa and you're blowing the shofar on Yovel on the Jubilee year, you have to just make sure that you're blowing before Chatzot. Because if you're in Haifa, the fact that the courts, you know that this is the time in the morning the courts are in session, you'll have a certain influence over you. But Rosh Hashanah, when it comes down to Shabbat, Tokin, Bizman, Bezdin, B'fnei Bezdin. When it says the Yechidim, the individuals can't blow, that means they can't blow. They only can blow only in front of the court. The contrast is that when it comes to Yovel, every guy can do it in their own house. Like we said, Isha Beito. It says Isha Beito, even though the women are not obligated, the Gemara says, to blow the shofar. Why not? Because it's a mitzvah shazman grama. It's a time bound mitzvah. We have a minhag that the women go to hear shofar on Rosh Hashanah, but there's no Torah obligation for women to hear shofar on Rosh Hashanah. So to the Gemara says there's no Torah obligation for women to hear the shofar on Yovel. It's a time bound mitzvah. So what is the Isha Beito? Isha Beito could mean he could even do it. He could do it in his house, right? One thing is he could do the shofar in his house. He doesn't have to do it in front of the court. Well, however, that's what it means. Chayav l'tzolah. You have the obligation to blow on Yovel even in your house. However, not in front of a court. However, when it says Yechidim can't blow by Rosh Hashanah, means individual Rosh Hashanah comes down on Shabbat, you can't blow away, not in front of the court. You have to be B'zman Bezdin, in the time that the court is in session, and also B'fnei Bezdin, in front of the Bezdin. Like we had in the Gemara earlier, that the Gemara said that when the Mishnah stated that you have a right when Rosh Hashanah comes down on Shabbat, you blow the shofar on Shabbat. You blow the shofar with any type of court, or maybe a court of 23, according to that opinion, some opinions, or a court of 3. But Rav Huna said it has to be in front of the court. So the bottom line is, when it comes to Rosh Hashanah, that comes down on Shabbat, according to this Gemara, to ensure that people won't come to carry the shofar, the blowing of the shofar will have to be at the time the court is in session, and not if the court is in session and I'm in my house. It has to be in front of it has to be actually in front of the court. Rabbi Yom Kippurim taviru shofar b'chol artzachem. You have to blow, right?
You just wait Rosh Hashanah, Shabbat, with Yom Kippurim.
Right, because Yom Kippur, you're not allowed to carry Yom Kippur, and Shabbat you can't carry. Yom Kippur and Shabbat have a lot of people have to remember. I mean, right, I mean, Yom Kippurim of Yovel and Rosh Hashanah on Shabbat. Itmanami, the Gemara says, Amar Rav Chiya, Bar Gamda, Amar Rav Yosef ben Shaul, Rabbi, Ein Tokim. Individuals cannot blow in the house on Yom Kippur unless it's the time that the court is in session. Ela b'kozman shebezdin yoshvim. As long as the court is in session, if the court is in session, then you go ahead and what? And blow the shofar on Yom Kippur of Yovel. That means you're in your house, you have the first 6 hours of the day. So when Yovel comes back, the time of Mashiach, blow the shofar on Yovel, based on our Gemara. We'll look up more in the halacha, but based our Gemara's opinion is that you would have to blow. We have to blow in the early part. Yes, I'm going to come upstairs. In the early part of the morning, we have to go ahead and blow the shofar. Okay, we'll go into. And the Gemara just says, you know what? We'll continue tomorrow. We'll get ready for Minyan. Okay, I want to wish everyone a beautiful, beautiful day. All the best, everybody.